Correspondents dinner? Oh my God. Oh my God, look. What the? Anyway, where's the White House Correspondents dinner? Look, all the stars are here, man. There she is.
We are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame. We'll fight for the gospel. We'll honor his name.
Bro, it's kind of crazy. She still has that same intense look, you know? She's still got that intense ass look, even when she's hanging out with homies. Look, why does she look mad? She just looks so mad all the time. So is it why is she not sitting with JD? Have you ever met Erica in person? No. I knew Charlie for longer than Charlie knew Erica. Okay? I knew Charlie Kirk. Think about how insane that is, actually. I knew Charlie Kirk for a longer period of time than Erica Kirk knew Charlie Kirk. Think about that. Yeah, he should have married me. He'd be a... Oh, never mind. You missed Fetty? Fetty Wapman is there? Is that the ogre stumbling around? Is that him or is that Matty Iglesias? Just kidding. Matty Iglesias is way shorter. Still just as fat and just as bald. That's a free press guy. A lot of free press guys, I suspect, here in this room. Is that Usher? Pregante? My Usher. Or is that Katie Miller? Wait, Katie Miller is Pregante? I thought Usher was Pregante. Olivia Reingold is there. Oh, look at the ogre. Dude, this is a room full of my ops. Unironically. This is the ops ball. Now that I think about it, everyone in here is an op of mine for like the past 2 months now. Olivia Reingold, your girlfriend, is there. Yeah, she wishes. she might think that. You're getting mentioned? Nah. Your queen was dragged out? Oh my God, Medea, get your hands off of her. Of course Medea was there. Are you kidding me? It's so awesome that she still wears like pink stuff everywhere she goes too. She's like not even trying to be undercover. Like she dressed up like she was going, right? Oh my God, they carried her.
By the Israelis. And we were there with a picture of Amal Khalil showing Wolf Blitzer, the picture. He said, I don't know who that is. Oh. We said, you should know who it is because she was just by the Israelis.
God, what a queen. Yeah, Wolf Blitzer, former AIPAC spokesperson. Just, you know I don't bring this up. Uh-oh, will Hasan Piker be mentioned at 2026 Correspondents Dinner? 80% yes, $36 million volume. That's a lie. You just made that shit up.
She was under the rubble for hours while they wouldn't let the rescuers come in. They were targeting her and then targeting the people who were going to rescue her. By the time the rescuers got there, she was dead. And these are the colleagues of the people celebrating the war criminal. Both Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth are going to be in there tonight. And these journalists, in quotes, are celebrating while people are being killed in the West Bank, in Gaza, in Lebanon, in Iran. Every single day, their colleagues, their journalists are being.
Saw Jen Psaki in there, she turned her back. We saw Sheryl Sandberg in there, turned her back.
Turned her back.
These are not journalists.
On another note, is Wolf Blitzer a stud? Like when old Wolfie walks in, does he light up the room like he lights up my life? I've never been in the same room as him, but I mean, he is a sexual dynamo. I'll tell you that much. I mean, he makes me quiver. Okay. My knees are neak. My knees are weak. What the f is wrong with me? See, he me up just thinking about Wolfie. Just thinking about the Wolf Man. Okay. Just thinking about the Wolf Man. Me up.
People on the ground in Gaza are risking their lives daily, having to report on their own people, their own families' deaths. We just saw Amal Khalil in Lebanon. And these journalists are sitting here partying with Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth and Stephen Miller. And this is how they treat us when we try to tell them. All we want is for you to report the truth. Talk about the genocide of Gaza. Talk about the genocide in Lebanon. Talk about the illegal war on Iran. Talk about these things instead of just staying silent and then coming and partying with the that are in charge of these institutions. This moment will go down in history, and these people are on the wrong side of it. How dare you all just stand here and party with war criminals?
I hate nerd prom. Trust me, I went to one White House Correspondents dinner weekend. I was supposed to go this weekend as well. I didn't go, but not to the actual dinner itself. I have never been invited, but it was horrible. God, I hate DC so much. No, I got invited to the Vanity Fair party. I didn't even get invited to the Grinder party, which is crazy. Room full of contradictions. I don't think it's contradictory at all. I think this is a room full of sycophants, loyalists, maybe a couple good journalists in there. Maybe. Up. We are all domestic terrorists.
White House Correspondents Association. Attorney Simon Lakovich. Sarah Cook of CBS News. Andy Harnick from Getty Images. Mark Lima of CBS News. Jackie Heinrich of Fox News.
That's Sean Spicer? No, right? Chat, shut the fuck up about the host being from Israel, okay? He was just born in Israel. Jesus Christ, y'all are unbearable, dude. Oh my God.
The White House press
I
secretary,
feel, dude, if you
Caroline
keep
Leavitt.
this shit up, I'm gonna do anti-Semitism seminars on a daily fucking basis because you need it, okay? Oh my God. Oh my God.
From ABC News.
Oh my
Eric
God.
Trevor.
Y'all are unbelievably annoying. Jesus Christ,
Trevor
dude.
Honeycutt from Reuters. Courtney Supermanin from Bloomberg News.
Y'all need anti-Semitism sensitivity training.
From Time Magazine, Brian Bennett. And join us in welcoming the president of the White House Correspondents Association from CBS News, Weijia Zhang. The headliner for this evening, mentalist Oz Perlman. And now please welcome the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 45th and 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and First Lady Melania Trump.
I hate seeing this piece of shit enjoy himself, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I
please
can't be
rise
alone
for
in
the
this,
nation's
right?
Colors presented by the Joint Armed Forces Color Guard, and please remain standing for our national anthem performed by the U.S. Marine Band.
Do you think there will be comedy? No. No comedy allowed. He looks like shit. He looks so shitty. He looks so bad, bro. He looks like a bag of ass. Melted wax candle looking ass.
And the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Bro, y'all are talking about this motherfucker's gonna go to sleep. I'm about to go to sleep, motherfucker. Come on, fast forward, fast forward. Okay, hold on. Here, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this.
And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President of the White House Correspondents Association from CBS News.
Okay, there it is. I fast forwarded. I got bored. I was like, come on, pick up the pace. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome. Welcome to the 2026 White House Correspondents' Dinner. Thank you to the President's own Marine Corps Band, led by Drum Major Master Gunnery Sergeant Stephen Williams and vocalist Master
Damn, I got a time
Gunnery
machine. I
Sergeant
do have a
Kevin
time machine,
Begier.
yes.
Good evening to everyone. President Trump, Madam First Lady, on behalf of the White House Correspondents Association, thank you for being here. It is meaningful that you're with us tonight. And White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, thank you for everything you and your team does to work with us every day, whether you like it or not. I'm biased, but covering the White House is the best assignment in all of journalism. We have the privilege of covering the biggest story in the world every single day. The speed is exhilarating, demanding, and it offers a critical public service. Strong journalism benefits the entire country. Tonight, we will celebrate the exceptional work you have done and toast a group of promising students who want to follow your lead. Of course, at the heart of both of those things is the importance of the First Amendment. I want to take a moment to recognize some important people who helped me tackle this job and who helped make this night possible. First, to the members of the White House Correspondents Association.
Can you turn up the fascist audio? Sure.
Thank you for this opportunity to lead. It is an honor and a privilege. Thank you to my advisor in this role, Kelly O'Donnell of NBC News. And to the other past WHCA presidents who have helped me navigate challenges. To my CBS News bosses, Tom Sobrowski, Barry Weiss, Mark Lima, thank you. Thank you for your leadership and support. To the relentless CBS News team, especially the White House unit, I am grateful to call you not just colleagues, but friends. And thanks to the mentors and other friends who have kept me balanced this year and always. And of course, to my family. In a world full of chaos, you are my calm, and I love you. We have a big night ahead, and we're gonna get started now. So enjoy your dinner, and we'll be back. Thank you.
Tony double circ. Double circ Tony. The commencement speech was better than that. It sucked ass. My commencement speech. Why are you watching? Oh, the fucking bald Nazi. Oh, gross. That wasn't Fetterman, chat. That was the other bald Nazi. That was Stephen Fettermiller. Stop biting your nails? No, I will never. Are we watching the burning of the free press? Yes. When are they gonna start talking? I don't care about this fucking ban, bro. Do you think they have McDonald's for Trump? I hope not. I hope he doesn't enjoy a single moment of this event. Are we just watching these bozos eat? Great question. I thought that there would be more action here. When the fuck when do they start talking? When do they start yapping? That's what I want. I want more yapping. Okay? The fuck is this shit? Hey, yo. How the tables turn? Okay, shut up. Is there a poly market bet on whether he's going to sleep or not? No, because that would be 100% guarantee. Of course he's going to sleep. Why would you bet on a 100% guarantee? Mark Levin running an interview about you at the moment? Wait, Mark Levin is not at the White House Correspondents' dinner, and he's instead on Fox News chirping?
We're proud of being Americans. We're not a perfect country, but we're getting better all the time. And in America, you have opportunity. In these other countries, you think you have an opportunity in Iran? I mean, you don't have an opportunity. Nobody has an opportunity in Iran or Cuba or any of these.
Two of my baldest ops are arguing with one another over who wants to kill me first.
Florida taxpayers in this country give money to Yale. They have a $44 billion endowment. And they take our tax dollars and they don't pay taxes.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you what, these colleges and universities are doing more damage than good these days, particularly in the soft sciences, behavioral science, political science, social science. It's one thing if they're working in labs to try and find inventions and cures for cancer and so forth. It's quite another when these are hotbeds birthing revolutions and anti-Americanism throughout the country. We'll be right back.
Megan Stan accounts are retweeting your reaction? Hell yeah. This man is anti-black, by the way. Oh my God, what did he do? There's a video of him blatantly saying he does not care what black people have to say. Bro, I swear to God, it's just like, it's over. We're so fucking, we're in a crisis of stupids, okay? There's nothing we can do about it. Oh shit, this one popped off, okay. Oh my God, I need that greatest hits of debunking website immediately. Yeah. Lol, you got so lucky. The night Mark Levin talks about you, Trump can't see it. Oh my God, you're right. Oh my God, remember when I said Mark Levin is definitely going to fucking talk about me on a show? Oh my God, the one time he's talking about me on a show, Trump is not watching the Mark Levin broadcast. Oh, that's unironically. Oh my God, that's incredible. We would have eaten a fucking Truth Social tweet tonight. You think they're going to move on from HDS? No, I don't think so. There's absolutely nothing good going on in America. They can't talk about anything good going on in America because there's nothing good going on. And the Democrats can't talk about how much Trump sucks Israel's dick because they also want to suck the same dick, which is like the greatest avenue for the Democrats to just consistently be like, hey man, remember when you started waging war on a totally foreign country at the behest of Israel? Fuck is wrong with you? They'd be saying that every day. They could be saying that every day, but most of them are too busy not saying that because they don't want to say that. So they've decided the best possible thing to do right now is just keep the cycle going. Oh man, this Hasan guy fucking sucks. Really unbelievable. Did JD make his wife put on white face? So is this it? What the fuck's going on here? Also, where's Usher? That's not Usher. That's not my Usher. Where's my Usher? Usher! Brother, you take 2 hours to eat. It's been like 5 minutes. Why? Telling Trump to watch a rerun? See you soon at 8 p.m. Eastern on Life, Liberty, and Levin on Fox. You can't watch live? If you can't watch live, you can DVR the show. Brother, I keep 2.5 Men, 24, and Life, Liberty, and Levin on my DVR because I'm a real patriot. Now, this guy has blocked me, so I can't tell if he's a fucking guy who's making a joke. Oh, never mind. He's being sincere. He's being fucking sincere. Oh my God. Oh my God. I thought that was a joke. I thought people didn't actually say stuff like that. Oh my God. Oh my God. He said that seriously. That's so funny. Like 99.9% of people on the planet, I plan on missing it. Bald Warhawk. All the 90 plus year olds and mental patients at wards at hospitals, set your DVR. We still use VCR in this household. Thank you very much. I try to never miss your show. It's no wonder Levin is still in the DVR age. Compliance with Israel's what? I don't know what that word means. I'm not going to read it. It kind of feels like racist. I'm watching, Mark. You're talking with Rick Scott now. Another great opening with a brilliant historical perspective. Who are your guests, Mark? It says Judean General. Nah, because my dad's profile name is Boat Patriot. Boat Patriot? Hell yeah, dude. Monkey Shines is just shenanigans. Oh. Yeah, that's one of those terms where I was like, I thought it's like, it's such an old person saying that I thought, 50-50 chance is racist as fuck that I haven't heard before. My dad's is millions must go, referring to restore Britain, says British bloke. Dude, what the fuck? I'm so happy that my parents are not on social media. That's crazy. What's the point of your PhD? See, my PhD is still solid because it wasn't a slur. If it was a slur, I would have known. It means acting up. Playful trick. Disturbing history. Daddy Rice, a popular white... Oh, no. Go back to the stream now. Wait, what the fuck? What the fuck is happening? Wait. Wait, they started running. Shots fired? Shots fired at the White House Correspondents' Dinner? Oh my God. Oh my God, look. What the fuck? What happened? Okay, I'm going to skip ahead maybe. Is that Kash Patel?
Holy Toledo.
What happened? Do we know? Well, I mean, people are chilling. Bro, they are going to fire the fuck out of Kash Patel, dude. Oh my God. Watch it be a negligent discharge by one of the Secret Service guys? No shot. All right, so this is live. We're now live at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. chaotic scenes taking place at the White House Correspondents' Dinner as the president and everyone in the White House Correspondents' press pool, members of the press, were having dinner, and all of a sudden, we don't know exactly what happened. We have no idea what took place, but there was like people panicked, moving around. President ducked under the table. Secret Service was present on site. Loud sounds heard inside. Trump was taken out of the room. Potential shots fired at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Attendees currently on the floor. Bro, this is the one place where you do this, everyone's gonna know. CNN is covering it right now. We'll go live to CNN for real-time coverage. Are they covering it from the ground? This is when this is where the real journalists come out. You know what I mean? Immediately fucking get on a camera. Start talking.
Was it a sound? What was it that set it off initially?
You know, I heard a loud sound, and at first I thought it was a plate.
Come on, Brian!
I thought it was a plate of dinner meals falling to the ground. My first thought, John, was one of the poor waiters who were trying to navigate this room had dropped all of the meals, you know, and it was, you know, a loud noise. But I have no idea. I was, you know, pretty far away. Can you talk? But people, in a matter of 3 to 4 seconds, Sean, fell to the ground under these tables as the Secret Service ran.
All right, let's watch. We already watched that. Let's watch this moment once again. Oh, that sounds like gunshots. 100p. That sounds like gunshots, potentially. I don't know, but... Actually, I don't know. Bro, that shit went pop, 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 bang, 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 bang. Gunshots, remember, sound very differently outdoors as opposed to indoors, but I mean, I don't know. It kind of sounds like it could be. Does this mean the mentalist is not going to be able to do his thing? Or will they go back? Because I was looking forward to what he was going to do.
Yeah, did very quickly. Right, prepare them and they got them out. So John, the folks who were in the front did not know what was going on either. Here is now the front. You can see some of the damage. Some of the lighting and things knocked over at the front of the room, okay?
No, this is good for us because Trump
Brian,
actually,
just so you know, you are our eyes and
Trump
ears.
actually ended up not watching the Mark Levin show tonight, so that's still good for us.
Images that we
Unless
have,
he DVR'd it, in which case we're fucked.
and through the people you were speaking with, the only information that we're getting from inside there. So please keep looking and keep on talking to people, and we will try to get a sense of what happened. But right now, just to reiterate, and I think we did just lose Brian there, unfortunately. The cell service in there is terrible. All we know is there was a sound. Brian and Major Garrett of CBS said it sounded like plates, and that every Trump official was then immediately escorted out.
We're seeing it. David Urban
And Tony Doe of CBS. Brian, go ahead.
Tony Double Cirque. Tony Double Cirque, is his penis okay?
No, I don't have enough of anybody in this room who knows what happened. Hopefully, this was a sudden reaction to some drop
Hold on,
plates.
we have Brian. We have Caitlin Collins. We have Caitlin Collins on the line for some more insight. Caitlin Collins, we're listening. What's happening?
Hey guys, obviously, I mean, this is a total state of chaos right now in the ballroom, and we're seated maybe 50 feet from the stage where the president was up there, the First Lady Melania Trump.
We have to stay here for now.
Security is telling us that everything's okay. The shooter, there was a shooter? 1 second, guys, I'm literally, what happened?
We're trying to identify it now.
Where was the shooter?
Somewhere out there.
In the lobby? In the lobby? All right, control. All right, guys. I just want you to know this is not verified. We're just listening to what's happening.
Bro, they got you in 4K saying you wish he wasn't having a good time. Okay, bro. Like, oh no.
The Secretary of Education is seated right next to me. And
That's a little bit. That's a little bit of a liberal interpretation of what I was saying there. You know what I mean? Just because the wish was granted doesn't mean that I was calling for it.
They said he is confirmed dead. We don't know anything more than that, but I can tell you we had just sat down to dinner. The president,
Prison
the First
stream
Lady, Caroline
soon.
Leavitt were all on stage, including the Vice President, J.D. Vance. So obviously a lot of security here. And, you know, at the beginning of the dinner, everyone's just kind of seated having their meal. And within moments, armed Secret Service is running in with massive guns. I mean, maybe dozens, and a silence just went over the room as they ran in. Everyone ducked, got on the floor. People were underneath tables. No one knew what was going on. And for a second, the president actually was not evacuated off stage. I looked. He was sitting still right there.
Did you just ask if they
Secret Service
shot
was
a
coming
waiter
in
for
and
dropping the plates?
And so we didn't know at first, but then we heard from our own security that they heard shots fired. And now we do have Secret Service telling us, obviously I want to know this is only one Secret Service member, but a member of security is here telling us that there is a shooter who is confirmed dead, and now we are kind of basically locked inside the ballroom. But basically they were saying everyone's okay. They have not identified the shooter yet, but obviously it shows you this was not some kind of false threat, that obviously something had happened, and they rushed the entire administration off stage. A few members are still in the audience, because as you guys know, someone from the administration is kind of seated at each table inside. I'm actually sitting next to Secretary McMahon, the Secretary of Education. And so that was what happened. I mean, I've never seen anything like this in my life. And I want you guys to know security is very tight getting in. It's Secret Service who warns you. You come in through magnetometers into this. And so obviously there's a ton of security here given how many top officials here. The House Speaker, Mike Johnson, top lawmakers who all have their own security details are also in the room. That just speaks to this. But as we were sitting here, and then moments later, obviously the president was rushed off stage, the vice president was rushed off stage. I saw Secretary Kennedy being rushed, Miller and his wife, as they were moving quickly. But it's difficult for them to identify where everyone is in this very cramped ballroom as we're all kind of seated right next to each other.
Caitlin, are you hearing anything more in terms of
what does she
the
know?
number of shooters or any shots fired or anything information about where they were
There will be
firing
shots
into? Was
fired.
it confined to the lobby or inside of the actual ballroom?
So it's not clear, because obviously it looked like the threat was coming near the stage, and that's where people thought that they heard gunshots. But then we also have reports that people who were seated kind of at the back of the room heard it. I mean, the acoustics, obviously, it's hard to judge. I personally did not hear the gunshots. I'm seated maybe 50 feet from the main stage where the president, the first lady, and the vice president were. And you kind of walk downstairs. It's in the basement of the Hilton. The security who just confirmed to me that the shooter that was here inside the Hilton where the president was is confirmed dead seemed to indicate that this person was in the lobby. But I mean, I want you guys to know this is all just coming in as we're literally standing here in the room reporting on this as it's happening. And I just to give you insight into this room, obviously it's always a huge gathering of media, but when the president comes, it generates a lot of interest. So there are some of those powerful figures in media, entertainment, news, Washington that are inside this room right now, just to give you a sense of what this security nightmare is like.
Yeah, again, just let's reiterate what Caitlin has just told us and bring people up to speed as to what we know. This is the White House Correspondents' Dinner, or what was the White House Correspondents' Dinner at the Washington Hilton Hotel. About 10 minutes ago, people heard things and the room was cleared out very quickly. The president, the vice president, the entire dais, most of the cabinet is there as well, taken out of the room. Caitlin, who is in there, Caitlin Collins, is reporting she is hearing from a security official that there were shots fired, perhaps in the lobby, by someone who is now dead. Now, we don't have any information this person got in the room or near the president or any official, but there does appear to have been shots fired outside. You can see officials right now sweeping the area, going through, and we have no information about who the individual might be or anything like that. I will say, as Caitlin was saying, this is one of the most secure rooms on earth tonight. You have the president, the vice president, much of the entire cabinet there, prominent media figures as well. It takes a long time to get in, and everyone is thoroughly screened. So questions will be asked about how someone even got to the lobby. Let's go to Brian Stelter and Manu Raju now, who are there for the latest on what you are hearing, gentlemen.
And this information, John, that you've been reporting is news to most of the people in the ballroom. Most folks in the ballroom do not yet know anything about shots being fired. Manu, what have you seen?
Yeah, I only saw, when I was sitting at the table, I saw President Trump getting pushed down by his security detail and then being rushed out. Then later seeing both the vice president, the cabinet, also members of Congress also being rushed out by the security detail.
Yeah, and now
other than that, nothing else.
Looking around, wondering what happened because people inside do not know. I apologize. I'm literally holding up a cell phone camera in order to show you this, but it's better than nothing in a moment like this. And I do think that, I don't want to overstate this, but there are some folks pretty shook up in the room here. You had folks who looked like they got hurt when they were falling to the ground. You know, I don't want to overstate that, but this was a pretty sudden, shocking interruption in this room.
Yeah, no question about it, because it's unmistakable. It sounded like gunshots that we heard from not inside the room, but nearby. Okay. And that was enough to cause so many people to immediately, they know what they heard, jump to the ground, try to protect themselves. But we saw how the security reacted very, very seriously, immediately to the situation.
That's right. John?
It is stunning to think about where we are right now. This evening that began as a question of why now? Why is the President of the United States speaking and attending what is his first White House Correspondents' dinner as the President of the United States? He is attending many of his cabinet members there. His obviously next in line, the Vice President of the United States, the First Lady is there, the Defense Secretary. Also, you have DNI. You have so many people in the administration, also many of whom were on that stage. We watched the video footage as it was coming in live to a bit of chaos after we were told that loud sounds had been heard inside of the actual venue. Caitlin Collins.
Where's Usher?
Shots were fired in the lobby and a shooter confirmed dead. We've got Jake Tapper, who is sitting next to Brian Stelter as well, who is our eyes and ears inside of the space right now. Jake, what did you hear? Can you tell us what you saw?
So
Jake, can you tell us?
I'm looking there. Okay, sorry.
Jake, it's Laura and Berman. Yes, I can hear you. What's going on?
So this is what's happening. We're just all at this dinner, and then all of a sudden, I didn't hear the bangs, but I guess there was some bangs, and then there was Secret Service running.
Jake Tapper's about to be like, I have it on good authority that it's Hasan Piker who's responsible for this. And apparently he said this one's for Israel right before he shot right before he fired the warning shot.
And
someone should go arrest him right now, actually.
People were very upset and worried. And I have some videos, so somebody needs to.
Oh my God, I'm about to sound like a fucking chatter, but his mic, he sounds so different on this phone camera.
But in any case,
he sounds so nasally on this phone camera mic.
Somebody with a Secret Service pin said,
real voice, Jake Tapper, real voice,
building,
real voice unlocked.
And that shooter was stopped. So that's all I know. That shooter was stopped, but again, that's from one person with a Secret Service pin. Not a thorough vetting in a journalistic sense, but since I'm being interviewed more as a bystander at an event, that's
Security officials
that's what I can
evacuate
tell.
House Speaker
But,
Mike
like,
Johnson
everybody's
as shooter
here,
opens fire at the annual
and
White House
everybody
Correspondents'
is-
dinner from Reuters.
I will say this. So after that happened, I'm sorry if it's tough to hear you. After that happened, the Secret Service came and started collecting other members of the administration, like Secretary Kennedy of the Health and Human Services Department was right there. He was taken out. Secretary Besson was taken out.
What? Possibly
one by
per
one.
News Nation?
The,
Bro, that's News
Steve
Nation.
Scalise, who
Wait. RFK Jr. and Cheryl Hines. RFK was limping. No word on POTUS. Dog, RFK just limps. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he was just limping because he just is fucked up in general. And not because... RFK's got so many different issues, dog. Like even if RFK got shot, I would assume that he died to other causes. You know what I mean? Because that's what's going. His body is a wonderland. Okay, it's just so many different things going on in his body.
She is on the line. First of all, Greta, what we're seeing on the scene right now
They're
is
evacuating.
that all the attendees are filing out. Is that correct?
Yes, and I just left myself, actually, so I was able to talk to you because there's not
Yeah,
cell
see,
service,
this motherfucker's just limping.
down in the ballroom area. So I left the building. I'm standing outside. There is a large police presence outside. The attendees are filing out, and it's unclear what's going to happen next. The lobby of the Hilton is where the action happened before the ballroom. I'm not sure if it was unclear what was happening in the ballroom itself. It sort of
We might hear something funny from these reporters, by the way, because as a chatter pointed out, they're a little buzzed. Okay, like Jake Tappy was sounding a little buzzed there. Oh my God, Olivia Reingold. Terrifying. A few ground shaking knocks by my seat at White House Correspondents' Center. Unclear if shooting. I'm okay. We were trying to exit now.
We were just seated over. I'm seated near one of the doors, and they're.
Zed! Oh my God, they tried to recreate the USA chant after the shooting. Oh my God, people are so fucking cringe. Oh my God, can we just skip her? No, that's my favorite journalist in America. How dare you?
Public, a sense of the scale and what it takes to navigate this room, right? We are seeing but a sliver of the inside of this room. Someone's talking right now. Let's listen in. We did not hear what they just said just now. It apparently was not well received, but they're getting more information. We are learning things. Brian, what did they say just now, Brian Selter?
Just a very brief announcement saying the program will resume shortly.
What?
Not sure what form that.
What? They're like lightning can't strike twice. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. Now Trump has to sit through this shit, pissed off and possibly scared because he's a pussy if he doesn't come back, right? Oh my God. Oh my God. Now he has to fucking sit through the White House course. He's probably not gonna come back. Oh my lordy.
First of all, I'm glad that the president is safe, and I'm glad that the cabinet is safe, and I'm glad that they were able to keep worse things from happening. What I would say is that there is some strength that's trying to be shown here, that you don't stop this country, and you don't.
Oh God, Ben Jones.
And so people will see it differently, but I can understand why people would not want to let the terrorists win today, why they would not want to let terrorism win today. But you're going to have a lot of people who are just upset and shaken because the president of this country could have been killed tonight. And this is the sort of stuff that has to stop. This is the level of violence and crazy stuff on all sides of this country is leading people to think that this is the right thing to do somehow. And I can understand why they don't want to yield to this. But I think people around the world right now.
Why are they talking like it's a foreign enemy? It's America, bro. Of course.
Get into an event.
It's an American news broadcaster. Of course, they're going to make it seem like it was Al Qaeda or some shit. I mean, we don't have any details whatsoever, but judging by past performance, the likelihood of this guy being a Trump supporter is still fairly high. Because considering that wherever Trump goes, there are fallen fans of Donald always want to kill him. I mean, this has happened a bunch of times at this point, like in fucking Mar-a-Lago and shit. You know what I mean? So
by showing up and doing something like this. I was here on the Saturday night in 2024 of Butler, Pennsylvania. Yeah. And I got to tell you, I wake up every day worried to death about the safety of this president and everything that he has been through. I'm glad he's safe.
Let's listen. Wei Zhejiang is up there.
How fast before people say this is fake, by the way?
Security personnel have been rushed out of the building. Wei Zhejiang speaking now.
We have an announcement. I know everyone's going to want as many details as possible, and right now we don't have that, but I can tell you that our program is going to resume momentarily.
Show must go on! Sources say the dinner is stable. Please, God.
We will have more details to share, also momentarily, but for now, please just be patient as we figure out just how much time it will be, but it shouldn't be that much longer. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We're going to hear from Wolf Blitzer right now, who is standing by. He's obviously at this dinner as well. Wolf, are you able to hear us? I'd love to hear what your perspective is and what you can tell us.
Yeah, I can hear you fine. It's very,
Knees are weak.
Worrisome what happened. Just coincidentally, after
I already did twice check logs.
I walked out to simply go to the men's room, but you have to walk up these stairs and walk out, and which I was doing. And as I was walking back towards the door to get back into the big area where the event was taking place, all of a sudden, I start hearing gunshots in the hall right near me.
Wolf Blitzer, drunk again, blindsided by breaking news, has to rush into action.
And I was listening and watching what was going on. And apparently they got the gunman who had a major weapon there, but it was so worrisome. The noise was so loud in a small area, and all of a sudden I'm seeing gunshots. And then they grab me, the police officers, and they take me back into the men's room where it was safe, and there were about 15 other men who are stuck in there, and they won't let them out. And that's what happened. And then after a while, they let me out, and I'm out now. I'm not back in the ballroom, but everything is apparently closing down. Very scary incident. All of a sudden, a guy with a weapon, and it was a very, very serious weapon, he starts shooting, and I happened to have been a few feet away from him as he was shooting. And, of course, the first thing that went through my mind is he trying to shoot me. And I don't think he was trying to shoot me, but I was very close to him as the gunshots were fired. And it was very, very scary, but I'm okay now.
Wolf, it's John Berman. Thank God you are okay. And thank you for calling to tell us you are okay and sharing this information. This is the first we're hearing of any of this, so I'm going to ask you to go over it again in great detail because you are the first witness that we have who has seen anything quite like this. So please, on a different floor than the dinner itself? And you did see a person.
When you walk out of the dinner, and to go up, you have to climb a few stairs, not an escalator or an elevator. You just climb a few stairs to go out into the lobby area outside of the ballroom where the dining area was going on. We had just finished appetizers, sitting down, and I walked away to go out to the men's room, but you have to go up one flight of stairs. So I was up one flight of stairs above the area where the dining was going on. And as I was coming out of the men's room to walk back in, all of a sudden I hear these loud, very scary gunshots right near me. And the next thing I knew, a police officer was on top of me, threw me to the ground, and I was waiting. And the next thing, a bunch of other police officers came and told everybody who was near me you guys are all going into the men's room and
The
closing the door
Mentalist
on
is
me.
just that
You said
good.
I was afraid there were other potential gunshots that could be fired from other people. And so the next thing I knew, I'm in the men's room with about 15 other men. We're just waiting to leave, and eventually they let us walk out, and I'm out now. But they're not letting me go back into the dining area where the
Let Wolf
event was
back
taking
in.
place. And I just assume
Let
the event
Wolfie
is gonna be
back
canceled,
in.
At least for now.
No.
Too scary with a gunshot incident like this. And I had no idea, as I was hearing the gunshots, who this shooter was aiming at, or if he was just trying to scare everybody. I didn't know what he was doing. But it was within was, and it was pretty frightening. And when the police officers took me away, one of my shoes fell off, and now I have that shoe back. But it was just a terrible, scary, frightening moment for me. And I'm glad it looks like it's over right now. But I think that out of presumption of caution, they're just telling everybody to leave right now.
Well, Wolf, hang on. First of all, they just said the event will continue. I don't know if they'll stick to that, but the announcement inside the room, and I know you're not there, was the event will continue. But let me just ask you, and if you can wait, just listen. Did you see a gunman? Can you describe the person and the weapon and what that
My
person
man is
was doing?
shoeless, bro. Let him
I
live.
didn't see all the details, but I did see the gunman on the ground after he started shooting. Police officers threw him to the ground, but he was still shooting, and I could hear the shots going off. It was very frightening. I was on the ground, too, because a police officer was on top of me trying to protect me in case, one of the bullets could get near me, which it didn't. But I can't describe the gunman. I have no idea what, if any, motive this individual may have had. But the sense I got is that the police who were there, and there were a lot of police there, took care of him relatively quickly. And the incident looks like it's over, but it was a very frightening incident. And out of an abundance of caution, I'm sure they're taking other precautions right now. I see not only a
Dude,
lot of
imagine
police
I call
officers near
Trump
me
right now.
but a lot of military personnel
Be like, yo,
as
what's
well,
good? How you
just
feeling?
standing, and they're all armed and ready to go if anything else happens right now. But it looks like that one incident is over, at least for now.
Well, thank goodness. This is Laura. You're safe. We'll make sure that your family also knows that you are safe, given what is taking place tonight. I want to go. Please stand by. We want to hear more from you. We have Brianna Keeler, who also is on the phone. She also has new information. Brianna, we've just heard that the president is safe, a shooter in custody at the Correspondents' dinner. Our own Wolf Blitzer in the lobby when the shots were fired, and he was tackled to the ground by the officers.
Yes,
to
I
protect
have his
Wolf
number.
Blitzer and
I
others
have the
who were
president's
in
phone number. Shut the fuck
What
up.
can you
I do.
tell us?
I just spoke with someone I know who had been heading out of the ballroom to walk upstairs to go to that sort of lobby concourse area where the restrooms are. And on the wall by those stairs is glass. And as he just started to ascend the stairs, all of the glass started to shatter and rain down sort of from above as he was walking up from the bullet. So he heard multiple gunshots as he was about to ascend into the area where this was all happening. And he couldn't see because he was actually below, but obviously he could see all of the glass coming down, and that person came back inside to the ballroom. But when we were inside of the ballroom, we couldn't necessarily hear that. The reaction of the Secret Service was really what startled everyone, and they just ducked for cover. But he had seen this, a lot of glass shattering, and that's actually an exit of the ballroom that we are not being permitted to go out right now and get some air from. There's other exits where they're permitting people to get a little bit of air from, and that's a door that is no longer open.
Brianna, we had been giving people as much of a play-by-play as we could. We knew that there was an announcement from inside of the dinner that they were intending possibly to continue the programming. We also saw a mass exodus of people leaving that ballroom, and Secret Service also coming.
Is Olivia Reingold going to be able to watch the White House Correspondents' dinner, or is she not allowed back in? This is what I need to know. CNN, get to
In
it.
terms of where they are now after having left the ballroom?
We don't at this point, but we did just get an announcement from the White House Correspondents Association President Wei Zhejiang, who said that the program.
Oh, shit. Bro, that was crazy.
The president's plaque off the podium, and there's been some movement on stage. There's been no movement, I'll say, at the dinner tables. There have been some of the wait staff that has come out and removed the salad course. I don't know if that means they're going to continue serving with the course, but if they're doing that, it's maybe a sign that they plan to continue with the dinner. And we're just watching what happens here.
Not the salad.
Karen Bohan, listening to all of this, I mean, what would you be doing as a journalist right now if you were caught in that room, or would you have gone to the bureau, gone out of the room?
So I would have stayed in the room because, you know, in the room is where you're going to get probably more facts and find out what happened.
God, I fucking,
you know,
this
one
is
of
the
things that a lot of journalists are
this
doing.
is the funniest
I'm sure,
place where something like this could have happened. Okay, because every single person is in the media. So, and every single person is going to constantly talk about this. This is going to be the thing that in normal circumstances, the Mar-a-Lago shooter, right? The guy who wanted to kill Trump at Mar-a-Lago, he got killed immediately. It was barely a fucking day of news. This will be covered up and down extensively. Finally, get you off of Fox News? Oh, sure. Hold on. Hold on. I'm sure that Fox News will be able to figure out a way to pin this on radical Antifa terrorism and therefore your boy somehow.
And that's what happened about 45 minutes ago. Now back to the live ballroom. Let's see what's happening up there. Nope, people are still talking on the phone. Nothing is moved yet. John McCardle, any update for us?
After a horrible, tragic event like this happened, does it make you want to reconsider supporting terrorism?
Obviously don't want to leave.
What is this
It's just
question?
kind of the nature of reporters who want to see what happens. It's a lot of checking phones, checking in with family members, people asking if they're okay.
Dog, you asked that question so weirdly.
But like I said, there's also people popping some of the bottles of wine that hadn't been opened yet.
Connor said, why would they invite Iran to the press dinner? Oh, man. All right, we need more. We need more information. Yeah, I mean, technically nothing happened. From what we understand so far, one guy, I think, judging by the shots, there were 5 shots. There was 1 shot, and then there were 4 shots immediately after. So I think one guy fired the first shot, and then boom, 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 it's over. What I don't understand is how the fuck some random could have gotten anywhere near the event space with a weapon. They already blaming you? No, they're not, bro. Calm down. How the fuck would anybody with a weapon get anywhere near? Tweeted it? Wait, what? Is this a good time to mention that Democrats' new darling Hasan Piker said he wanted the blood of his political opponents to run in the streets and recently justified the murder of an innocent father because he ran it? Bro, that is crazy. That is crazy. No, you weren't wrong. This motherfucker literally heard the president. There's a motherfucker who heard in the news that there was a shooting that took place at an event that the president was at, and he did not wait. Immediately, he was like, time to make this about Hasan. All Dems are Pol Pot. Maybe wait until we confirm this isn't just another cracker. This one's worse. Reminder, Hasan Piker publicly advocated for President Trump's assassination. Perhaps one of his lunatic followers decided to give it a shot. Bro, what the fuck? Bro, brother. Are you fucking serious? What the hell, dude? Ain't no way. This is HDS full force. Not a chance, bro. We're all here watching. Update from Janine Perot, who happens to be currently the fucking U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia.
I'm at the Washington Hilton. I've been taken out of the main ballroom after the sound of the shots fired. The Secret Service is now in charge of this building, this hotel. I just spoke to Mayor Muriel Bowser. She is on her way, and Chief Jeffrey Carroll is on his way.
To be fair, you are kind of Muslim. The fuck? Can't believe Hasan was almost there. I was not invited to the White House Correspondents' dinner. I was just invited to another party during the weekend. Who's the babe on screen? That's US. And you this has 620 likes already. Oh my god. And you actually wrote about this. This is the outside?
Stay back.
Why is Young India arc quote retweeting Jackson Hinkle? What the fuck is happening in this video? Who filmed this video? Was it Jackson Hinkle? Is he there? Kirk livestream had more viewers. President fell off. Yeah, well, he didn't. The only person that died here is the shooter. That's why. Obviously, they found the suspect. Stop. Also, most people don't even know this just happened. You have to remember, most people have no fucking clue. You'll see more and more people trickling in. That's why it's like unbelievable. That's why it's unbelievable that there's motherfuckers in here who are already posting their dunks on how I'm responsible for this. You know what I mean? That's crazy. He pinned that tweet already. All right, let's see what CNN is saying.
To get to the Washington Hilton Hotel, so I was a few blocks away, and I was walking towards the hotel. And you could see an enormous amount of security around the hotel. So they were clearly very, very worried. I was very, very worried, obviously. And then everything seemed to be going well until I walked out of the ballroom and I was walking back in. The next thing I know, I'm hearing gunshots and I'm pushed to the ground by law enforcement and taken away. It was just a very, very frightening moment for me personally. And I'm sure for so many others who happened to be in that corridor outside the ballroom.
We're going to hold behind the stage right now. Staff are going to read this down the hall for me. He wants the show to go on. We're told by his details someone tried to get through the mags with a gun. The counter assault team did their job. Unclear what that means.
Want to return. He does want.
Okay, so someone actually just fucking tried to walk through the metal detectors with a gun, I guess. Is that what happened? Or if just did it just beep on someone and the Secret Service just popped off on him? Like, the fuck? Did Trump post? Trump posted? Trump already posted for the Backstage? Quite an evening in D.C. Secret Service and law enforcement did a fantastic job. They acted quickly and bravely. The shooter has been apprehended, and I've recommended that we let the show go on, but will entirely be guided by law enforcement. They will make a decision shortly. Regardless of that decision, the evening will be much different than planned, and we'll just plain have to do it again. President Donald J. Trump. More tweets blaming you. Shots fired. Extreme influencers like Hasan Piker and Candace Owens, both of our names, preaching as Piker did the other day in the New York Times social murder, trying to depict the most freedom-loving country on earth. Enough is enough. I guess this is it, right? That's it. It's just like, no matter what happens going forward, they're going to be like, remember Hasan Piker? Remember chatters when you were like, oh, I guess they'll stop talking about you now. And I was like, no, they'll probably keep talking for some strange reason. They'll find a way. They're reporting now that no shots were actually fired at all. Randy Fine, a.k.a. Horny Sexy, was on his third round of appetizers in lieu of the salad, and buttons on his suit shot off and shattered the glass above the stairs. The scene is secure. I hope everyone is safe. Oh, man. That's crazy. Yeah, this guy, I guess, this is a Clintonite. That's why his responses are like, what the fuck are you talking about? The president is literally the most violent person on the planet. Like, because it's crazy that these guys are like, Hasan Piker exhibits violent rhetoric. He has talked about how violent the systems that we exist under are, which is just as violent as the president, who constantly talks about murdering people. At FBI. Yeah, Caroline Leavitt called it. Bro, I know. Dude, I'm on it already. I'm fucking on it already. I said, what does she know?
Is he not?
He is ready to rumble. I will tell you, this speech tonight will be classic Donald J. Trump. It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room. So everyone should tune in. It's going to be really great. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
I love it all. And you wrote most of it, you said.
I can't take credit. In true Donald Trump fashion, the man puts his pen to the paper himself. So it's a lot of his own.
What, Liz? Why? First time she hasn't lied? Oh, damn. True. Yo, arrest her. Oh my gosh, she wrote the script. It's a script. She wrote it. Photo, White House Correspondents, dinner suspect, really. Bro, we can't even make jokes like this because I feel like we now live in too schizophrenic of a media environment where people are unironically going to take that and post it, and then it's going to get like 700,000 likes. And then there's going to be like 10 million Americans who legitimately think I was the guy who tried to shoot the president. Okay. Like we have to be a little bit more careful about the jokes that we make nowadays because honestly, you know, we can't, there's people are pretty fucking nuts. They will blame Israel or you. Yeah. Well, ironically enough, the situation currently is basically 90% of the country will blame Israel and the 10% that are pro-Israel will blame me. There's a photo of suspect on the ground. Was he apprehended or shot and killed? I'm confused. I can't tell. You can't really see. Hold on. Let me get a closer look at this. Let me zoom in. I guess it is. You can't really tell though. I mean, they're trying to do that's it's like medical bags, right? So I think they might have been trying to save him. Fox reported detained, CNN reported shot and killed. We know where the CNN report is coming from. It's Caitlin Collins. We saw Caitlin Collins was the one who said they're pinning it on Erica Kirk already. I mean, I'm also in favor of the, blaming anybody but me category. So out of pure, selfish reasons, if they blame anybody but me, I'm there. Okay. Like Erica Kirk, Israel, get after it, everybody. You know what I mean? Erica Kirk looks at something on his phone and her reaction is unmistakable. What did he show her? Like, what do you think? You think he showed her the plans of how there's going to be an assassination later? It is. Yeah, Benjamin Netanyahu is going to come out and be like, we did not do it. Someone on the ground with U.S. Secret Service. Bro, they're already cracking jokes. They're having a good time. Like,
he just watched.
Oh, shit.
It's so upsetting. I'm in studio and I'm shaking watching this. And I can't imagine what Erica Kirk is going through.
What?
Again. And I think it's important to remember that the people in that room, we know so many of them. They're also human.
I'm texting Van.
And I imagine that while they want to show up for press freedom and we don't know what the motive of this shooter was, I imagine some of them are also really scared and traumatized. And I think viewers who are watching some of this footage will be scared and traumatized by it. It's really upsetting. And I feel so exhausted by how much violence we have to cover. Violence against journalists, violence against politicians. I just can't imagine continuing on
I can't
with
say
this
nothing.
night.
I
understand the importance
right
of standing up there and standing against these threats of violence, but this is very real and we are human. Journalists are human too. And I would really understand if, for security reasons and also just compassion, human reasons, this night didn't continue as planned.
I don't know, man. Everybody in there looks a little shaken.
Wait, what the fuck? He just texted me back. How is that possible?
A lot of people that are
Van
watching
just
this have
texted
loved
me
ones
back.
inside of that building. You guys have loved ones inside of that building. When you send your kids to school, when people go to church, when people go to the movies, when they go to grocery stores, so many places they go in America is just not safe from gun violence. And we have conversations about it, but now it's, once again, coming home.
I want to hear, and what you all have said is so important. I want to hear from Andrew McCabe. I really want to understand, based on your experience in law enforcement with the FBI, we have seen many an agent in that room. We know Secret Service is there. We know the sheer volume of security that would be present with the President of the United States.
It's not pre-recorded.
So
He's live right
members
now.
in that room.
He's texting
Andy
me.
McCabe, describe for us not only your reaction to tonight, but the security presence that would have been in this room, and what do you think is happening right now to try to assess whether there's an ongoing danger and what has happened?
Yeah, sure, Laura. So before anything happened out of the ordinary, the law enforcement approach to this thinks of it as almost on the level of a national security special event.
I'm not going to tell you what I told him to say on camera, but he said, tell the chat you're trying to get me cooked.
So no doubt.
I tried to dare him to say something on camera. Yeah, not Van Jones, Chatters, Van Lathan. He's on the screen.
Had representatives on site tonight. That said, after a gunman shows up, and according to Wolf's comments earlier and other reporting, it sounds like that person might have actually gotten through the security perimeter. We don't know that for a fact yet, but that's what some folks have said. That takes your entire plan, all that coordination, and throws it kind of out the window. Surprise is the enemy to law enforcement planning. The people behind the security of this event, they want to know everything. They want to know who's there, who's in the room, who's outside the room, what time they come in, what time they go out. And they've just been surprised in the absolutely worst possible way. So it is inconceivable to me that any law enforcement person would advise them to continue with the program this evening. I'm sure that's a disappointment to a lot of people who are there, but there is no way you could possibly recommend anything other than say thank you very much and sorry for your trouble and send all these people home.
Andy, stand by for 1 second. We want to go to Zach Cohen, who is inside the room right now with some new information. CNN, Zach Cohen, what are you learning?
Yeah, it's a scary scene out here, honestly. But I will say that we
subscribe to independent media, Piker Broadcasting Service, by the way. Piker Broadcasting Service is ad-free always. There will never be ads on the Piker Broadcasting Service. It's for you, the people, by you, the people. You can contribute to independent media at PBS, People's Broadcasting Service, Piker Broadcasting Service, for $6 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Okay? Tell him to say you were not the shooter live on air. Do it, pussy. No. That's not what I was telling him to say. I was telling him to say something crazier. Anyway, New York Times says one person in custody. I guess the shooter is not dead. I guess that was wrong. Fucking brace. I'm at the White House Correspondents' Dinner first. I'd like to thank law enforcement for their swift response in preventing a tragedy. Second, almost everything you're reading about this incident on X is false. There were multiple shooters and possible casualties. A ton of people are also really sick. Several members of the press corps were taken away in ambulances prior to the disturbance. Yeah. Oh no, he's doing it. He's gonna do it again. He did this last time with. Remember when he fucking made up stuff about? It was another like big media moment with Burning Man. A couple years ago, when Brace decided to start tweeting about Burning Man as though he was there, and he made it seem like there was a zombie outbreak, and then people literally fucking believed him. Or was it Ebola? Ebola at Burning Man, a classic Brace moment. Okay, United States Secret Service shooting incident. Thank you, Hasan's new pharmacist, for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you, Andrew Filer, for the 20 gifted subs. Like I said, Piker Broadcasting Service shouts out. You can rewind the broadcast if you subscribe to the Piker Broadcasting Service. You can also send me links. United States Secret Service says the U.S. Secret Service, in coordination with the Metropolitan Police Department, is investigating a shooting incident near the main magnetometer screening area at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. President and the First Lady are safe. All protectees. One individual is in custody. The condition of those involved is not yet known, and law enforcement is actively assessing the situation. Wait, is it a duo? You think it was a duo? They caught one, they apprehended one, and then shot the other? Why are they talking about it like this? Jennifer Jacobs says the suspect is in custody from the White House Correspondents Association dinner shooting. At least one shot fired. One USSSSSS officer taken to the hospital to be checked out, but is okay. Dinner about to resume. Magnet Omnitor. Fun fact about the location, bro. This is the same hotel outside of which John Hinckley Jr. tried to assassinate President Ronald Reagan in 1981. Hey, yo. What? Brother, this guy isn't even a fucking fan of mine. He's literally just a hater. I thought that was a fan posting that, like, as a meme. Bro, these motherfuckers are not going to rest until I'm arrested, I think, for some shit I did not do. Thank God. Thank God I'm always on camera. Thank God I'm always fucking live. Because honestly, if I wasn't live 24/7, people would just start making shit up. Like, oh, he was there. He did it. You should kill him just to be safe. That type of shit. Bro, I told you to get your name cleared for shooting in the air. Yeah. Yeah, I already covered this. This motherfucker immediately was like, yo, it's you. I am living inside of these people's brains. Using this, try and blame me. The president uses the most violent rhetoric ever known. Perhaps that's why it's usually his own supporters trying to shoot at him. I'm saying we don't even have details of what happened yet. These motherfuckers are already using this opportunity to try and blame me. The president used the most violent rhetoric ever known to man. Perhaps that's why it's usually his own supporters trying to shoot at him. Don't draw attention to them. Dog, this is fucking 22 minutes in and it already has 3,000. It's 22 minutes in and it already has 3,000 likes. It's over. Yeah. This has 13,000 likes. Like it's already set. New Trump post. Pete Hegseth, looking stricken, was cutting a path through the mobbed hallways of the Hilton, just now descending deeper into the bowels of the hotel, even as the White House press pool. Oh my God. People are replying to Hannity blaming you. You needed to immediately refute any accusation before they even make the threat like Netanyahu did 2 minutes after Charlie got kirked. Yeah, that worked really well for Netanyahu. Law enforcement has requested that we leave the premises. Consistent with protocol, which we will do immediately, I will be giving a press conference in 30 minutes from the White House press briefing room. First Lady plus the Vice President and all cabinet members are in perfect condition. We will be speaking to you in half an hour. I have spoken with all the representatives in charge of the event, and we will be rescheduling within 30 days. President Donald J. Trump. You didn't post the tweet, Unc? It's true. I did not post the tweet. The other one is even more viral. I'm posting it. I did. Don't post? Why? Why? It's better to ignore? Bro, it has 13,000 likes already. What are you talking about? Better to ignore. Find me. Several tables over. I will hide you. Update. New York Times. Sean McCreesh reports Cash's girlfriend was hiding in a bathroom with another man holding her hand. Shut the fuck up. Are you serious? We are relieved that the president and those attending the White House Correspondents' dinner are safe and deeply grateful to Secret Service. Wait a minute. Why is AIPAC tweeting this? Wait, is Cash getting fired or cucked? Sean McCreesh is my goat, by the way. That's the one who asked that banger question to Donald Trump. If you remember, I met him at the Vanity Fair party. I'm one of the small number of journalists traveling to the White House press pool tonight. We were in a hall just outside the ballroom when the commotion first rang out. Several things happened in quick succession. Tuxedoed agents pulled out guns and began running towards the ballroom. White-jacketed caterers screamed and bolted for stairwells. Pandemonium reigned as top cabinet officials were evacuated. Robert Kennedy Jr. and his wife, Cheryl Hines, came out and were ushered into an elevator. Then Janine Pirro emerged. The FBI director, Kash Patel, came tearing across the hallway with 2 men in tow. His girlfriend was hiding in a room with another man who was holding her hand. Oh! Kash Patel is both fired and cucked at the same night, bro. Ooh, sure. Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way. Reporters are about to be taken back into the ballroom. The show will go on, apparently. Where's Usher? Oh, no. That's fucked up, bro. That is fucked up. He's fired and cucked at the same time, dude. Yeah, McCreesh, that is nasty, dude. God damn, that is nastiness. That is some nasty business. Hey, that's good. What's the term? Good gumshoe reporting. God damn. Pic and video of suspect on the ground. So he's not dead. We saw that. Whoa, what the fuck? Oh, yeah, he's not. They just stripped him. Change your title. So no dinner. That means gaming is back on the docket, right? Man, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? The event that the president went to was just shot at potentially. Obviously, I have to cover that. Shooter apprehended. I'm just going to say shooter stopped because that's correct. Trump's wheeze. Hey, dude. Don't let my tweet change who you are. Prezzo, maybe don't do that. Man, I got enough shit on me right now, dude. I can't believe Kash Patel got cucked. That's crazy. That's the craziest event of the night. Van is talking. Oh, what's he saying?
Everything, but like people are in trouble. And the despair is running over. And who's going to talk about that? Who's going to address that?
One thing I'll be curious, especially you're talking about this happening even at this event. I'll be curious to understand not only the target, but I want to know the state of the suspect.
Yeah.
Because that is going to be one of the most important sources of information of what has happened tonight. And especially we read from the Secret Service talking about, as you noted, they're investigating a shooting incident near the main magnetometer screening area. Was it effective? Was this person intercepted in this way? Which of course would be a very important detail to understand. And let's not forget as well that, as you mentioned, Scott, and we've talked about some of the people at the beginning of this dinner who were present in the room. Yeah. Erica Kirk, the widow of Charlie Kirk. You have people who are civilians who may or may not have had their own experiences with gun violence in this country. And as we know, gun violence, Steve Scalise also there, a victim of gun violence as well. And there are others who we are not naming in the moment as well. And just to think about the prevalence of gun violence more broadly.
I will note, the president on his way to the White House now for a press conference shortly. The entire press corps is in this room right now. They're not going to make it there. I imagine that the people asking the questions, to the extent that there will be questions, will be the White House pool, which is a limited, very small group of reporters who will be able to travel with the president and ask him questions there. But this is... Yeah. It's so surreal. It is so surreal that the president, everyone who covers him, all there for this. They're all leaving now, the members of the press leaving. But what we do know for sure at this point is that there is a suspect in custody.
Our boy Sean is in the press pool, so he will ask some interesting questions, I assume.
And those involved,
potentially for the New York Times.
Those involved, their condition not yet known. But the president's okay. The cabinet's okay. We have not seen or heard any ambulances taking anyone from inside that event. So we think everyone in the event is okay, and they certainly look okay. And the pictures that we are seeing now, I have to say, I'm sure they're all just relieved, frankly, that it's gone on the way it has. We have Wolf Blitzer with us, and Wolf has been crucial in understanding the course of this event because, Wolf, you were really the first witness to tell us what happened, that there did appear to be a shooter.
As if
fucking Wolf Blitzer, man. Another drunk Wolf Blitzer certified classic.
I don't know if he was just in there waiting or whatever, but it was clearly in a secure area where we assumed everybody had gone through metal detectors and was cleared to go in to the ballroom. And all of a sudden, I'm walking right near the shooter, and all of a sudden I start hearing gunshots. And the next thing I knew,
I will say one thing. Like, this is another instance where everyone is going to be like polite, and it's going to take like a week of yelling at people to be like, "Oh, the president could have almost been shot and killed. How dare you?" Some people are going to crack jokes. Not me. I would never do that. Okay. And then eventually it's going to turn into another Kirkification moment for like average people won't give a fuck about it. Most people are just watching the game. They don't give a shit. And
for me personally and for everyone to see this unfold as quickly as it did, and I must say I give law enforcement a lot of credit because they moved very quickly, risking their own lives in the process. There's a shooter with gunshots, and they took this guy down, and the process they took me down too. They took me down to save me, which was good because I didn't know where this guy was aiming. But the gunshots were so loud, so frightening that it scared all of us, and we had no idea what was going on.
He fell getting rushed off stage?
My gut was that out of an abundance of caution, because the shooter was inside the secure area, They should definitely have canceled the event for tonight and told everyone to go home as quickly as possible. I'm now in the lobby of the Washington Hilton Hotel, and you see hundreds of people coming up the escalator, going to the lobby, getting ready to go home. If there are cars waiting, or if they're walking, or whatever they're doing, taking an Uber, but they're all leaving, and it was just a very, very frightening, scary moment indeed. And thank God, everybody inside was okay, and I don't know if anyone was injured at all. But
You just said you're not going to make light of the situation? Come on, man. An old man falling like that? That's funny. Like, I'm sorry. It's the president. He fell. Like, do you really think I can't laugh at that? I'm a human being.
And thrown to the ground, and presumably his weapon taken away. But it was just a very.
And Wolf, I'm sorry. Did you say? Did you see the type of weapon, or
alone? If there were others there, so they just took everybody, and they tried to save us and make sure that we were secure. Which I was grateful for at the time.
We know that the motorcade is leaving as well.
In the lobby, because you see hundreds of the guests, of the people who were in the ballroom, just coming up the escalator and trying to leave as quickly as they can, which is clear.
Imagine if Germany wasn't such a fucking asshole about it. These guys would be currently ripping P90s instead. That's right. They use the MP7s, which, a lot of people think is the best possible weapon due to Call of Duty, popularizing it. But initially it was supposed to be the P90. That was supposed to be like the NATO weapon. But Germany was like, nope, abso-fucking-lutely not. HK made the MP7 instead, and the P90 was cooked. Yes, MP7 was inferior in every test ever conducted compared to the P90. It's true. That guy's a badge? Yeah, no shit, dude. This is not the shooter. This is the Secret Service.
Held an historic site, I might add, for people who recall in 1981 an assassination attempt of President Ronald Reagan. Sarah, can you tell us what you're seeing out there and what you know, given the number of people in that room?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about the number of people in the room, the number of cabinet members alone in that room, there are going to be some big questions about security and how this happened, because I will tell you that those magnums that you all are talking about are very far into the venue. When you first come in, mostly what they asked was they wanted to see your ticket. That allowed you to sort of get to the door where you did the sort of red carpet, if you will. And every single cabinet member almost went to the red carpet. And when we walked in that door, there were no checks on our bodies. They did not do any checks of what we had with us at that point. And so that may have been where the shooter entered or how the shooter entered, although we don't yet know that. But it takes a while, and you know this well, John. It takes a while before you get to those magnometers, before they start checking your person, before they start checking your purses, for example. So there will be a lot of questions about security here. What we did see is some real deep, disturbed emotions in that room, one of whom was Erica Kirk. As I was walking out of the venue trying to figure out what happened and what we could find out as a reporter, as we're walking out,
Bro, Erica Kirk wasn't there when Charlie Kirk got shot. They're making it seem like she has like post-traumatic stress sort of from being shot in the direction of Charlie Kirk or something.
Imagine her distress as she's sitting there hearing the same thing that we all heard, which was gunshots, and knowing what happened to her husband, and being
Drew's
in that
calling
scenario.
for your arrest. He's Australian.
She looked visibly terrified as she was being escorted out, and then we saw her again once she was outside of the building, kind of being surrounded.
even
and
people
waiting
who are
to be
haters
able
of mine
to,
are like,
to
what the
leave
fuck
the
does
area
this?
completely. We also saw Senator Fetterman and his wife, who were also trying to figure out where to go, how to leave, how to move out of the way. There was chaos. There were moments where people weren't sure what they were supposed to do, stay inside the ballroom or leave. But we are seeing quite an apparatus out here. We did see ambulances, but they were not in the kind of scenario that you have all seen when there is someone who needs to be taken to the hospital. They were sort of sitting and waiting with their lights going. And then we saw quite a few police vehicles coming and going throughout this particular area. And then a while ago, we saw them put up the crime scene tape here, which has moved out further than it was initially. Just down here, I'm on Columbus in California. just down here where you see all of those lights, that is where the Hilton is. That is where this occurred. But I think someone mentioned this, and I don't know if it was Van Jones or
Yo,
who
Van,
mentioned
I'm
that
live.
there's this sickness. And you saw the result
Yeah,
of
I'm
the
still
sickness
live.
with gun violence. You saw the result of that in this room while people
Oh,
are
you
saying,
left? Here, do you want to give a comment to the stream? We were watching you. They can't hear you though. If you want, I can put the microphone on the phone if you want. I know. Wait, you want me to wait? I'm gonna put you up to the mic now. You're on mic.
Sure. Yeah, I asked if they could like let me leave.
Wait, really?
Because yeah, I did. Yeah, I asked if I could leave the show.
Damn. You should have stayed on. Now they're gonna put Van Jones back in, and he's gonna do the state of the conversation instead.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, like there's no Hasan. It's like, what are we going like what is what's the discussion?
I know. This happens so frequently. That's what's so crazy about it. Like there was a guy, I don't know if you remember this. There was a guy who went to Mar-a-Lago with a gun. It was a former Trump fan. He went to Mar-a-Lago with a gun and he got shot and killed because he wanted to assassinate the president. It happens so frequently at this point, and it's so crazy that this is like every time it happens, we just set the clock back. We reset it. Like
that is not the forum to have this discussion, because the forum to have not to me at least, all I'm gonna do is look like a raging lunatic up there, because this conversation, yeah, I care about the fact that people felt unsafe in that place tonight. They were trying to celebrate the industry, but people feel unsafe in churches. They feel unsafe in schools. They feel unsafe protesting in Minnesota. Like it's just, I don't feel like coming off all sanctimonious and all of that.
Also, if you say that, they're gonna say, "Oh, you're undermining this like actually severe situation," as opposed to all those other instances where like real people are also feeling threatened and sometimes getting shot, because those are little people, those are ordinary people. This is an extraordinary situation.
I mean, maybe. They actually might like it, but honestly, it's probably. And I fuck with everybody up at CNN and they're good to me, but honestly, it's probably, I don't know, man. It's just like, this is the reality of the space that we're in right now.
Yeah.
So overtly grotesque that I kind of don't want to do it on TV, honestly, bro.
I feel you. There's people on the timeline like they got a boss call blaming me for it right now. There's like mad people being like, they're saying that I'm the Democrats' new darling, and I want death and destruction, and I'm like the one who is inciting all this violence. And it's like, bro, I'm a Twitch streamer.
You talking about just in general?
Yeah, they're saying, yeah. They're like, oh, Hasan is the reason for this, which is crazy, because it's like, if I'm capable of inciting violence with my language, what the fuck is the president inciting? The same president that they're defending.
Here's the deal, though. The symptom of a really sophisticated virus is that everyone thinks it's coming from someplace that it's not coming from. Like the symptom of a really sophisticated, a really truly entrenched disease or pathogen is that it tricks you and it makes you desperate to blame other parts of the body. Like, oh, we think it's here, we think it's there, we think it's here, we think it's there. We don't have any intellectual cohesion on what the source of it is. So we go through all of this stuff until we're knocked back on our ass and we hope that we lug up on a solution. The real solution to this is that our political and social fabric has just been decimated under the influence of this fucking guy. And we can keep, it's not like America was ever, I'm a black man from the South. I'm gonna stop like being hyper verbose after this. It's not like America was ever a super safe place for me, but the reality of what this country is now is this, that's not the right forum for me to get my shit off on it.
I feel you.
Abby in a couple of weeks. Yeah, that's just not the right forum for me to get my shit on it. That's for them.
Are you coming back to LA, or are you going to be in New York? I'm going to be in New York next week.
I'll be in New York next week. I think I'm going to do Abby next week. They don't care that I left the show. Like I asked, they were not about them, but like, I'll be in New York next week to do Abby. Yeah.
All right, I'll see you there.
All right, bro. Peace.
All right, bye. Here, X video, the shooter. Yeah, this is an image unconfirmed. Yeah, we saw this already. I think they stripped him too. There's a photo of him totally stripped with like the wrap around him. That was Van Lathan. He was just on CNN. Security update. Cash is so fired. Bro, Cash is so cooked and so cucked. Something I noticed even before coming into the White House Correspondents Association dinner was that the security was only outside the ballroom, inside, not outside the building. So the entrance of the building did not have security machine, only guards. You only went through the screening before the ballroom. Oh my God. I mean, I guess that might be normal. I'm kind of shocked. I'm actually kind of shocked at how anyone could get that close. Can you please call Brace Belden? He's not there, chat. Fox correspondent claims to have attempted shooter at the White House Correspondents' Dinner is 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen from Torrance, California, and he's in custody. Oh, shit. Brace is currently being strip searched. Not normal. I worked at a venue during an event that Trump attended. Why did that New York Times reporter randomly drop the tea on Cash's girlfriend? That's so fucking funny. Excuse me. That's real reporting, okay? It happened. He saw it. He had to write it down. Sometimes you see things and you don't even think. Good reporters, they sometimes observe and they write it down immediately. They type it out and they don't even know what that would lead to, okay? It's a butterfly effect. You know, if Kash Patel is getting cucked amidst this attempted shooting, then we have to know about it. That's called accuracy in reporting. That's called good journalism. Yeah, shooter apparently identified as Cole Thomas Allen from Torrance, California, 31 years old. Not looking good because, as you know, most people will just immediately do profiles. And even though 90% of the time is a Trump supporter, all that matters is the one time where it's not, you know, for them to immediately clamp on anyone and everyone. But then again, we don't know yet. We don't know. We'll wait. What I will say, though, 100% confirmed, Kash Patel's girlfriend was holding the hand of another man while this incident was taking place. We do know that. That's a real thing that happened. That is confirmed. It's in the paper of record, the gray lady. I just want you to know that's out there, okay? We haven't confirmed the actual shooter's identity yet, alleged shooter's identity yet, but
in the way of essentially taking that bullet for the president if that's what's necessary. So yeah, this is it. This is like the Secret Service doing their thing right in front of the entire world.
Andy, stand by. I just want to reread. It's just past the top of the hour at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, just to bring people up to speed at what's happened. This was the night where the White House Correspondents' Dinner was supposed to take place. But let me read you a statement from the Secret Service that describes, in the best detail we have of what happened. It said the U.S. Secret Service, in coordination with the Metropolitan Police Department, is investigating a shooting incident near the main magnetometer screening area at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. The president and first lady are safe, along with all protectees. One individual is in custody. The condition of those involved is not yet known, and law enforcement is actively assessing the situation. The president delivering a statement very short. Of course, bring that to you live the minute it happens. The vice president evacuated. We learned the Speaker of the House also evacuated. Literally, the constitutional line of succession was all there, and they are all okay. We are here watching this unfold.
I guess going forward, whenever like any violent incident takes place or attempted violent incident takes place, every Republican is going to be like, we should kill Hasan Piker, you know? I guess that's what it is, right? Like every single one of them.
When this happened, it was Steve Scalise, the House Republican Majority Leader, who grabbed him and threw him into a secure location. Of course, Steve Scalise himself was shot years ago in a congressional baseball game. One other thing that I think should be noted, the Secret Service is an agency that it exists in the Department of Homeland Security, which has been shut down and not funded for 70 plus days. So when I think about watching these Secret Service agents and their heroism and what they have to do, they're currently working in an agency that, for many weeks now has not been taken care of. So I suspect members of Congress are going to have to confront that. And it started this past week, but that's got to get fixed.
Look, I think that they obviously did an extraordinary job, and the people I'm hearing from are shaken up. Look, people respond differently. You know, I've been shot at. it's a very weird experience because, bullets are, when you're playing, cops and robbers, you just go bang, bang, people fall down. Bullets are physical things, and they move past you faster than you can react. And nobody knows how their body is going to respond in a situation like that. So some people get very stoic, some people get very emotional, some people are fine for 2 days and then afterwards they completely crash. So you're going to have, unfortunately, a huge psychological impact for people with lots of responsibility in this country. People who are running agencies, bureaus, people who are running news organizations. So we have to be aware of that. I do think that the people who wanted the show to go on were people who were trying to figure out some way for this not to be a complete disaster. I have to say,
I adore your dedication to sticking to facts, even at moments of heat, no matter how heated it gets. With Kash Patel's girlfriend and another man, yes. This is the Piker Broadcasting Service, also known as the People's Broadcasting Service, sponsored by you, the people, for you, the people. Only the most trusted, most accurate name in news. I'm going to give you only the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. In times of misinformation, especially on the internet, when people are trying to figure out, was Kash Patel's girlfriend actually holding the hand of another man or not, I'm going to tell you what the truth is, right? Like, unless it is a confirmed report from verified, reliable resources, reliable sources on the ground, I'm not going to fucking tell you Kash Patel is getting cucked unless I have the evidence, right? Which is precisely the reason why I haven't yet confirmed the other stuff, except for the fact that Kash Patel's girlfriend was holding the hand of another man during the shooting that took place. So, crazy way to find out. Was hiding in a room with another man who was holding her hand. Crazy way to find out. On the night that he is potentially about to be fired, which makes it even crazier, Damn, Trump got a mentalist for this shit and he couldn't even predict the shooting. That's what you think. The mentalist, I didn't see him. Did you? Maybe he knew. Maybe he could predict it and he tried to warn people and they were like, shut up. Magic is fake.
And again, another attempt possibly on Trump or another violent attack on somebody. I think it's overwhelming to people and they want someone to get up and make some sense of something this senseless.
They also, I think, want to learn as much as they possibly can, and the details are scant right now. One piece of new information, this is coming from our reporting team. A U.S. Secret Service agent was shot at the White House Correspondents' Center Saturday night. The bullet struck the agent's protective gear, okay? And the agent was taken to a local hospital. The agent's condition not immediately clear, but the fact that the protective gear is part of that statement, let's hope that means this officer is in good condition. We now have with us CNN Chief Law Enforcement Analyst John Miller. John, you have so many great sources. What are you learning now at this stage of the evening?
What the fuck? That was the mentalist when Donald Trump was getting... Whoa.
Who is this suspect? What was the motive? They are obviously doing background into that. What we know from law enforcement sources who have been briefed on the matter is, according to identification found on the suspect after he was taken down, he is a 30-year-old man from the Los Angeles area of California. They are working on his background, any potential criminal record, social media, and all of the rest of the things you think they would be doing. As you've been reporting, the details are still relatively sketchy, but what we are told is that there was the set of magnetometers, and as he approached the magnetometers, there was this confrontation and shots fired. The Secret Service agent was hit, we are told, in the vest, but as you know, this is all preliminary.
Dog, I was here, okay? Shut up. 30-year-old from California, not Los Angeles, I don't think. At least that's what they said. He's a LA area, but I guess Torrance is LA area, right?
Who are at those magnetometers, the people whose job it is to be that front line of making sure that anybody who gets through those eating as Trump was being escorted is now part of the sterile crowd, meaning they can't be armed, they can't have anything on them that could be dangerous. Those are the Secret Service uniform division. They wear white shirts and black pants and badges, look like normal police. And they are that front line. Beyond that, of course, is the Secret Service plainclothes agents who guard the president and are spread throughout that building. So We don't know
That's crazy.
who was involved in the initial confrontation, but there's some likelihood that that encounter would have started with the unitometers. So we don't know how far, when they get to this press conference at the White House, how far they will go into the details of whether they've identified the gunman or his background, but they're working on those details. And at this point, so are we.
30-year-old male in custody, reports John Miller from California. That is all new information. A 30-year-old male from California. Any sense of the condition that the suspect is in, John?
Well, that's been a point of confusion. We were told initially, and this was literally within the first minute. So the earlier the information it is, the less reliable it is. We were told that he was taken down, the suspect was down, the suspect was dead. The terms they're using now were apprehended and in custody, which are suggestive that he has not succumbed to those injuries. So we'll have to sort through that as well as we go.
Thank you very much for making that clear, because again, the initial report different than what we think we are hearing now. We are just hearing in custody at this point, a 30-year-old male from California. And another point I just want to reiterate that you said is, as we are getting more information, the fact that this happened near the metal detectors, it's possible that the security here did what it was supposed to do. I mean, there are going to be questions. Obviously, need to review every aspect of this, but it is possible. One possibility is that the precautions they had in place are what kept this from being a true disaster tonight.
And of course, we heard from Wolf Blitzer about the location where he witnessed at least the gunman being brought down. You are seeing right now on your screen the White House press briefing room, because we were told by the President of the United States that he intends to speak within the 30 minutes. We are actually around that time right now as to when to expect him to speak. He would have come back from the Washington, D.C. Hilton, where this shooting took place. We still have a lot of questions. Number one, more information about who this shooter is, the motivation here, who was the intended target, the condition of the Secret Service officer who was struck in the vest, the condition of that suspect as well. And you can believe, as Jonathan Miller talked about,
Connor, the man's about to lose his job. Hey, man, I just read in the New York Times that your girlfriend is cheating on you. Connor, he's about to lose his job and his girlfriend at the same night. Oh, by the way, C-SPAN, Robert Skvarlis is watching C-SPAN right now. The callers think the assassination attempt was stage law. I'm a Midwestern normal mother, and they had a mentalist there for the first time because the president doesn't take jokes well. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but it doesn't feel right. This is also part of the reason why, like these guys will be like, Hasan is doing violent rhetoric. I'm like, bro, you really need to see what the average person thinks. Like, I told you, like, it's going to be instant. Like, instantly, people are just going to be like, yeah, no, that's not real. That's fake. It's a good number of people, I think, at this point, sincerely believe that this shooting, this one was staged. Okay, the fight one. Like, a solid number of people. Also, an even larger number of people fucking hate the president. So, I'm not a fan of violence, as you guys know. Famously, people lie and say I am, but I'm not. I don't like chaos. I don't like instability. I'm a homebody, right? But like a lot of these people don't understand how normal people feel about shit, Like, things are fucked up. Insane AM radio host lady. What did you know? What? Dana Loesch? NBA Twitter's hilarious right now. They're saying to out the Wolves-Nuggets game on. What? Because no one cares about this bullshit Lamau? Yeah, always the ones with the fucking Bible verse in their bio that say unhinged shit like this. Meghan McCain being normal. I don't want to hear one more fucking criticism of Trump's new ballroom at the White House. What? What the fuck does that even mean? Just say everything? No, chatters. Again, jokes do not fly any longer, okay? They used to, but they do not anymore. What? Unfortunately, the First Lady and I had to be evacuated from the White House Correspondents' dinner alongside the president and the entire cabinet. This event is yet another reason the President Donald Trump's ballroom should be built. What? Braces on the ground, important. Chatter, are you fucking serious? He's fucking joking. He's literally spreading misinformation. Please. We already joked about it. Okay. All of these people talking about the ballroom. Are you ready for this? Watch this. All of these like people all of a sudden talking about the ballroom moments after this shooting, this alleged attempted shooting took place, is going to make every liberal go, oh, he didn't even stage the fake assassination attempt to make himself look good. He staged it so he could justify the ballroom. It will 100% be tomorrow's news today. That's the PBS guarantee. I'm telling you right now, tomorrow's news today. If Donald Trump says, this is why we need a ballroom, every fucking blue anon, fuck it. It'll be like normie libs, PhD having normie libs are going to turn around and be like, oh, you see this shit? He staged it himself to attempt to get the ballroom going so that no one can criticize Donald Trump's fucking ballroom. Because I don't give a fuck about the ballroom, right? I don't give a fuck about it at all. But for some reason, it's the one thing that got every liberal the most pissed. Okay? Like, I care about the other shit that Trump does. You know, like double tapping a fucking little girls' school in Iran. Like, those are the things I care about. But a lot of liberals, I remember a lot of liberals and independents as well. A lot of liberals and independents actually turned away from Trump because the ballroom stuff was happening at the same time that the furlough stuff was happening, because they had they were like weeks into the government shutdown, right? And that was when a lot of independents pulled out. They were like, nah, I'm done. I can't deal with it. They hated it at the time. I'm telling you.
The suspect who is at the Hilton, as CNN reported just a few moments ago, we're waiting to see what it is that the White House has learned. And I just wanted to know, John, that in the room, the cabinet secretaries and top administration officials are kind of seated sporadically at random tables. So you can see there was a difficulty in security going and making sure they could get to every cabinet member. I was seated next to the Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon, in that moment. And I mean, we were both crouched on the floor, sitting next to each other, waiting to see what was going on and learn more from the service and the security that was inside the room. So obviously we're waiting to see what the president himself has learned and what he'll say when he comes out here to the briefing room in just a few moments. But it's a heroic effort even just to get these reporters inside here, many of them running, some physically running from the Hilton to get here as we raced over to make it to this press briefing. Obviously 10:17 p.m. on a Saturday night, in itself an incredibly rare occurrence, John.
Caitlin, and I don't want to make light of this situation, but we could all use a smile right now. This will be the best dressed press briefing, I think, in the history of the White House, with all the reporters dressed for a black tie event. It just gets to the absolute surreal nature of what Caitlin and all of our friends have been through tonight, and what we've watched play out before our eyes. I mean, we saw it happening in this camera that was focused in the room as the president was being
He didn't mean it misogynistically. It was a weird segue. I thought as much. I thought as much as well, but that's not. He was just trying to make a joke about how like everyone's dressed so well.
There is a suspect in custody right now. Shots were fired at or near the security area of the Washington Hilton Hotel outside the White House Correspondents' Center, but that everyone is okay.
A Secret Service member was shot in the protective vest, it appears. We're waiting to see the condition of that Secret Service member. But just so we can help the audience understand, I mean, we're talking about literally minutes into the start of the White House Correspondents' Center. You had the White House Correspondents Association president speaking, thanking the White House press secretary, thanking the President of the United States for having been at this event, and the First Lady. We saw the announcement of people being in the room as well. You heard the anthem and other things starting to play, and within moments of being told to enjoy their dinner, suddenly we were brought back into the room by chaos that was unfolding, and Secret Service members bum rushing the stage and weapons being drawn as people were crouching under their tables. And we had just talked about some of the people who were crouching at those tables. We're talking about the line of succession who was there as well. It is unfathomable to think about that. And of course, members of the press, civilians, not only in the room, in the lobby. This is not a hotel that shuts down just because the White House Correspondents' Dinner is being held there. You have a huge tourism boom in Washington, D.C., people who are outside as well. And of course, Andrew McCabe, I want to bring you in here because it is so important to hear about, you talk about soft versus hard targets. We have no idea who the target was here. There are a lot of assumptions being made as the reporting is coming in fast and furiously. But talk to me about the idea that you're talking about a crime scene that is the length of a city block practically in Washington, D.C. Wait, Caitlin, we hear more from you? Go ahead, Caitlin.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know we just got a 2-minute warning. That means the president is imminently coming out here to address the press corps. So we will hear from the president himself, who is offering a lot of the updates. I mean, we were hearing that the gunman was dead. We were hearing multiple reports, but obviously, understandably, it was breaking news situation. A lot of reporters in one ballroom asking people for information. And the president himself was the one who said and confirmed that the suspect had been apprehended by law enforcement. So he'll be out here momentarily, and we'll obviously see who joins him, if anyone from the cabinet joins him, and what he has to say about this experience as he was sitting there on stage, obviously, as all of this was going on.
So important. John Miller was just reporting to us as well, Andrew McCabe, about some identifying details of this suspect.
Angelica,
give us some context to what you were hearing.
Andy,
Andrew, go ahead.
Andy, 30-year-old male, we should say, from California. Those are the only details we have right now. Suspect in custody. Sorry to interrupt you, Andy.
Yeah, that's okay, John. So obviously we're going to learn a lot more about this person as the hours and days go on. But really the preliminary question for me is are we talking about someone who simply
So the guy that they're pointing to might not be the guy.
And then engaged
Because the guy that they're pointing to was light skinned. He was black.
The magnetometer and actually engaged the firearm in the
we don't know if he's
cleared
white or
kind
not
of,
yet. I
space.
wouldn't.
That's how that question is answered is going to really, I think, set the tone of the conversation around this attempted attack, if that's in fact what it was, for the next several days. There will be a lot of questions to answer at the Secret Service if that person got through the security perimeter with a firearm.
And that is one of the key questions here, the absolute layout of the room, how far the person got, the disposition of that person as he was going through security. I don't know if we'll hear that from the president. The president does have a tendency to be the first provider of information that sometimes you would normally hear from law enforcement officials. So obviously we are all on the edge of our seats waiting to learn more here. Caitlin was describing the situation as all the reporters who cover all the major events in Washington were in the Washington Hilton, and now many of them have tried to get to that room you're looking at right now where this briefing is about to take place. We were given a 2-minute warning about 2 minutes ago. That can be a little bit squishy.
Some even running from the location of that Hilton down to the White House, which of course you're talking about over what 2 miles down Connecticut Avenue. It's a long way, but just the ferocity of which they're trying to get to the location, because obviously the President of the United States was not going to speak from that location. And you also down there, you see Kash Patel, the FBI director who was at this dinner as well. You see Secretary Kennedy, who was there as well. Essie, you've been watching very closely by the people who are in this room and the impact of what this could mean.
Well, I was watching tonight to see if Kash Patel was going to come for other reasons because he's suing a journalism outfit right now. But we just saw him, tuxed out as a guest. The nation's top law enforcement officer was in this room tonight, which is remarkable and has so many implications. What did he see? What will he mobilize? I mean, was he a target? We have no idea.
The acting attorney general, the U.S. attorney for Washington.
These are very important people. Forgetting the politics of these people, these are very important people in the country, and they were all in this room.
Yo, he couldn't even monitor the situation with his girlfriend. You know what I'm saying?
Really, really fascinating.
Secretary Hegseth there as well. Right. I mean, just the number of people, which is part of why this was such an important night, that many of these people had.
Is there more information about what Kash Patel's girlfriend was doing? Very important. Okay. The left is evil. By the way, all these cucks have fucking blocked me, so I can't even respond to them. That's like Gunther Eagleman. Like every single one of them chirps at me from behind the block. The left loves violence. It's their brand. Remember in November, blah, blah, blah. All this shit. Barack Ravid reposted this with the shooter's alleged name. By the way, Barack Ravid, his first tweet was crazy. His first tweet literally had the Israeli flag on it. I don't know why. Did you see the Erica Kirk video? I want to go home. I'm having a hard time showing that because I don't want to show that because I feel like if I show that, I'm going to say some shit. And then on behalf of the trans community, we'd like to thank you for taking the heat on this one, big dog. Oh my God. Oh my God. You're right. Low key. Low Kirkentually. Yeah, they went, instead of blaming Antifa and trans, they blamed me instead this time. So there you go. Hey, listen, there it is. There it is, you know? Your fave Israeli LARPer tweeted about you too. What is happening, bro? It's a network. It's a network. They all got activated at the same time. I feel like we're watching it happen in real time. Isn't that crazy? Like, am I, like, how is this the new talking point for the entire right? Bots for sure. It's not. Are they all in like the same group chat or some shit?
And Brian, just so you know, and I don't even know that you know this.
There's a lot I don't know.
We saw what was happening on the screen.
Oh my God, he
which was
posted
hard
him.
To tell. Yeah. And then we didn't know anything. And the very first bit of information we got was from you, and your first instinct was to basically FaceTime and start reporting. So thank you for being such a great reporter.
Well, I appreciate that.
Thank you for doing what you did.
The only other time that's ever happened to me at CNN was a little bit like this night. It was the night there was a bomb threat at CNN in New York, and our old colleague Don Lemon was anchoring. We had to evacuate out of that building, and I happened to live nearby, so I walked over. I think I used Skype because it was pre-COVID, and so we ended up going live on the street. And that night reminds me a little bit of this because no matter what, people need to know what happened. People need to know what's going on, and so we kept the show going, kept the broadcast going. But I went streaming to talk to you, John, live on air, and it didn't seem.
The Cole Allen guy who was Teacher of the Month. That's crazy. That's him. All right, get to work. Light skins on high alert. Okay, guys, no jokes. I mean, Trump posted the surveillance video. What the fuck is this guy doing, bro? I mean.